Figure number 1 is colgada right from position number 2.
First, we'll show you the leader's footwork. Left foot side. We'll create a parada position 2. We're going to take the follower slightly out of her axis. We're going to make a small pivot to the right, pivoting onto the right foot for a quarter turn, pivoting onto the left for a quarter turn, and stepping back with the right, and then ending with a side step in second position. We'll show you the same from the opposite side. Left foot side, parada position 2. Right now my weight's on my left, but during the pivot, I'm going to change my weight to my right halfway through the turn and to the left in the second half of the turn. So I'm pivoting on my right foot, my left foot, back on the right, and side with the left, closing in the second position. And one more time from the back, we'll take a good look at the foot position. Left foot side, right foot, parada in position 2. I'm going to change the weight from my left to my right, and then my left, and then right, and left.
And the follower's footwork now. We're going to be led to step side onto the right foot into position 2. As I close my left foot to my right foot, we will find that we have the leader's foot there, and we form a bit of a sandwich between around the leader's foot. In the colgada action, I'm going to be pivoting strictly on my right foot, stepping out with the left foot, then side with the right foot. We'll show you this from another direction. Once again, position 2, right foot to the side. Left foot closes around the leader's foot. I pivot on my right foot only, step out left foot, side with the right foot. And finally, from this direction, second position, closing my feet around the leader's foot, pivoting on the ball of the right foot, left foot forward, right foot side as if dancing position 1 and 2 of the basic again. And now the leaders and followers technique for this colgada, which will apply to many of the other figures in this video as well.
We'll use this as a basic technique for the rest of the colgadas. What we want to do is put the follower onto a position on her right foot, and we're going to try to occupy the same position with our feet. So I'm giving her a sandwich right now, and we're just going to give a feeling of shared axis. Her balance is going outward, and so is mine. The amount of counterbalance is set by the leader. How much counterbalance is necessary in order to maintain the balance for the two.
I want to point out the position for the follower. Sometimes we have a tendency to just sort of lean back from the top. We want to be careful not to do that, but actually just pull the hips back a little bit into a slight sitting position, which doesn't pull the leader so much, but kind of just brings our weight back enough to create the centrifugal force. Remember, as George says, he's taking me off my vertical axis, but I'm still on axis and over my right leg. So although you can't see it right now, I'm pivoting only on my right foot, and it's the leader's job to keep me there over that right leg rather than over 2 feet.
Okay, and to initiate the turn, first there's a wind-up or a coil and an uncoil. Let's show you from the leader's position so I can explain a little bit about the footwork. She's on her right foot. I'm on my left. I can occupy the same position just to practice the feeling of rotating in the colgada. My weight's on my left and on my right. So we're counterbalancing. On my right, I rotate to the right, and then I transfer to the left. Let's see it from this position again, so you can see Christy's feet positions.
You'll notice, although George is doing the same thing that he just described, I remain on the right foot only. So he's keeping me there over my right foot. And as we turn, I remain on the right foot. I do not change weight as the leader does.
Okay. Let's talk about the lead through the upper body for the leader. On the side step, at the parada, we're going to give her a little bit of a counterbalance. And with a little bit of a up energy feeling for her that lets her know that she's not going to put her left foot down. So we're keeping her left foot slightly suspended. Now for the leader, we can bring our feet together, or we can bring it together during the turn itself. At the end of the turn, we'll line up, body, feet, square to each other before we step out. So we're starting the turn, and to exit, I give a little down energy to her left side, where in line with her left leg, so she knows it's a step out, and we can exit the colgada.
It's a nice feeling that we pause at the end of the turn. You notice, even though we're demonstrating, you might think that we're pausing only for that purpose, but even if we were dancing without stopping, you'll see that there's a little bit of a pause before we exit. We pause and step out. We want to be sure to complete the turn before we step out of the colgada.
And now we'll try it to some music.